not in the room right now. I wish he was. And he said yesterday at he's not here. Yesterday at the dinner, he wished he was a little bit more structured because a lot of people come to this for a couple of specific reasons. One is getting business. 2 is learning. 3 is getting their team here. Right? You guys have all invested to come here. You guys have all spent time here. And if you guys have feedback of, do you need deals? What can I do? What can we do for you right now? Is it an introduction? Is it a connection? Is it more leads? Is it a sponsor? Is it a hire? Is whatever it really is, you have to vocalize it. Like we have this within our company. We're about 60 strong, and it's like closed mouths don't get fed. Like that's just fact. If you need something and you want something, you have to fucking tell me in this room, because I promise you I have someone. And if it's not in this room, it's in the last 3 years room, or it's on my Facebook, or it's on my email somewhere, that I have connections I can continue to promote. For whatever reason, I feel very fortunate enough to have a strong voice in this space, and I want it to be continually heard, and I want it to continue to benefit everybody in this room. And I try my best to go out of my way to make sure everyone feels like they get what they came for. And there's never been there's a gentleman that showed up here because Rich Sheffrin sent an email. Rich was closing us down on the final day, and he goes, "Oh, I had no idea. Someone sent me an email. I just bought a VIP ticket for $6,000. I thought I was gonna come here, have cigars with Rich, and I was gonna hang out." And he goes, "I don't sell a single thing online." Showed up here, had a conversation. I was like, "Dude, you should get refunded and you should go home." Because that's what it is. Like if you don't get what you want here, if you didn't speak up, if you didn't find any value, like I don't. It's just money right now. It's just money. What we don't need is tons of more money floating around, because we're obviously doing well. 2020 was good for our specific industry, right? And if there's one thing that I can give you is more connections and friends, man, I'll go to as many great lengths as possible. I will make 2 other call outs before I introduce Bill. How do I get more diversity in this room? I understand our industry. I understand where we're at. How do I get more females? How do I get more those of color? How do I get those in the minority space? How do I do this? I need help. If you guys have introductions or friends or connections, how do I go into this? Because we have the reach, we have the voice, and I would love to continue to build it. So please, thank you. And with the intro, Billy, it doesn't get better than that, my guy. Gorgias, Billy, coming up here and let's crush it, my man.
So much. Do I have to turn this on?
You're on.
You can hear me?
Yeah,
We're good? Cool.
We're good?
Yeah, thanks so much for the introduction, everybody. Before we begin, I just wanted to say I love Geekout. I've been in the e-commerce industry for a little while. I've been at every single event, big conferences, small conferences, dinners, and every time I come to Geekout, it's the best people, it's the smartest people. I always learn something. And this is my first time speaking at Geekout, so thank you so much, Nick, and everybody that's here. So what I'm going to talk about is not too much customer support, a little bit customer support, but basically conversation sales and e-commerce. And so what I mean by that is how can you drive revenue with your customer support team? And so a few of the things that I'm going to talk about are essentially upselling with your customer support team using automation, really cool ways that some of the brands we are working with are using chat on different parts of their website. And then also a little bit of SMS. I know Greg talked about SMS a lot. I'm going to talk about SMS from the customer support side, that two-way sync with customers. And so, yeah, my first time speaking, so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background on my journey in e-commerce. It's a little bit different than probably everybody here. I think I'm probably the only one that have done this, but I went to school, my undergrad and my graduate school in chemistry, so I was literally, like Breaking Bad, in a lab with a lab coat and glasses on, mixing chemicals. That was my job for a little while. I was an actual chemist. And I liked what I was doing, but there's no money in that space. So I decided I wanted to get into business. And I met these 2 guys. They were at MIT, finishing up school at MIT, and they wanted to build a business and start a product. And so basically what we did for like a year is we built this device in the wearable space. So doesn't go on your wrist. It's called the muscle oxygen sensor. So athletes that are running, cycling, doing CrossFit, they would put it on their working muscle. So if you're running, you're putting it on your leg. And then we had an app on their smartwatches and on their phones, and we would send that data back to basically back to their phone or their watch so they could train in real time. And then when it came time to launch, we went direct to consumer, and so I basically took over all of our e-commerce. So launched our store, our customer support, our Facebook ads, everything like that. And we scaled that for almost 2 years, about a year and a half, and we got up to about $100K a month in sales. That being said, we did make some mistakes along the way, and it wasn't the most profitable business. So basically, we took the technology because we spent like $1 million just designing the device. We didn't want to die, so we sold it to another wearable company out of Boston, and they own the technology now. And then through that journey, I met Romain, our founder at Gorgias, when Gorgias was pretty small. And to be honest, I didn't know what Gorgias was. I was using Zendesk for my store. They were like 20 people. And they were building out their partnership strategy with agencies. So I basically decided to join on and work with a lot of different agencies that are in this room today. And yeah, that was the beginning of 2019. And so I think we were like 20 people then. And right now we're about 150 people. We work with 6,000 brands, a bunch of you in the room, all the way from big brands like Steve Madden, as already mentioned, but also to smaller brands as well, startups. Most of the customers that we work with are in that $1 to $20 million range. And what we do is we basically aggregate all of the channels that an e-commerce business is communicating with customers on. So email, chat, Facebook, Instagram, SMS, essentially everything into one place, and then we connect with their e-commerce store to make it easier to respond to customers. And so I told you I'm going to talk a little bit about the sales side of this, so just wanted to poll the room really quickly, but who thinks of their customer support team as a sales channel right now? That's pretty good. That's like, I think like 25% in the room. I was surprised. I was thinking it was going to be like 1 or 2 people, but a lot of brand owners and people that work with brands that I talk to, they think of customer support as like a fixed cost at the end of every month. It's just something that you need to run your business. But I talk with some brand owners that are doing it really well, and their customer support team is ROI positive. They're actually making more money from their customer support team than they're actually spending on their customer support team. And so someone else who's investing heavily in this space is Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg. So essentially, they bought a customer support tool about 6 months ago, actually, for $1 billion. So they way overpaid for this tool that they bought. And it was a customer support tool. That's exactly what it did. So he made a big post of it like 2 months ago, actually last month, about why they bought it and what they're doing and how they're getting into e-commerce. And so I just snipped up a couple of the key pieces of it. But essentially here he's saying, we're also building broader infrastructure to support commerce, everything from payments to customer service and support. So Mark Zuckerberg's betting big on that conversational piece of e-commerce and how it plays a role into driving sales. And then I'm going to read a little bit of this too. But essentially what he's saying here in this Facebook post is, we're starting to see a meaningful shift in the way people communicate with businesses. For a lot of people, online commerce is less about websites and shops and more about messaging. And then people want to get support and make purchases right from chat. Smaller businesses want to showcase their products and take orders via messaging. So there's been a big shift. I mean, we've been talking about conversational commerce for a couple of years, but a lot of people have a lot of things to ask a brand before they purchase. And so that's really what I'm going to talk about today. And so 28%. This is the conversion rate of pre-sale chats on your website and SMS when responded to within less than 10 minutes. And so if there's one thing you can take away from this whole talk, it's figure out a way to respond super fast to all of your customers. The faster you respond, the more likely they're going to purchase if they haven't already purchased. So I have some data on this from a brand we worked with. This is Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just after Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend last year. And essentially what I'm showing you here is on chat, they had about 500 pre-sale tickets in one day, so someone that hadn't purchased in the previous month, and they converted them at almost 50% conversion rate, so 47%. And on that single day, they generated $23,000 in sales, strictly from speaking with their customers. And you can see here that the response time is basically 2 minutes. So they're dedicating someone to chat, they're responding essentially instantly. And so yeah, so how can we drive revenue? I've talked to a few brands over the past couple of weeks and been able to get permission to show some of their data, so there'll be some tactical stuff here in a few more slides. But so the first one is just, you get a lot of data and knowledge from your customer support team. All of your customers are reaching out. And so you should be using that data, not just for customer support, but to grow your business. And so we work with a company called Olipop. They make a healthy soda, if you haven't heard of them. And they launched a new flavor of their soda directly from the feedback they were getting from their customers through customer support. So essentially what you should be doing is we call it tagging, but tag everything that's coming in, find out what people are asking you, find out where the issues are in your supply chain, and use that data to make your business better. And so yeah, I'm going to go over a few different channels and some strategies on how to do this. So One of them is upselling, and when I say upselling, it's not in an intrusive way, but a way to basically, it aligns with your brand and it creates a good experience for the customer. So this is a typical customer support question. Somebody reaches out to this brand and they're asking for their order status. It's the most common question. You obviously want to get them that information fast, which this brand is doing, so they're providing that information. But the bottom line here, they're basically creating a call to action. So they've connected Gorgias with a tool called Smile. So basically they have a loyalty points program. And they're saying, hey, just so you know, you have 300 loyalty points, and you can redeem them here. And then there's a link back to the website. So they've answered the support question, but then they've also created a call to action back to the website for that person to potentially make another purchase. But it's not super salesy. They're still getting the information that they want as well. And then, a little bit on the automation side. So if you can use automation, if you have a small team, this will save you a lot of time. But essentially, this is the previous example I just showed you, but they're setting up an automation that so when someone reaches out, they're getting their order status, and they're also creating that upsell in an automated way. And then chat campaigns. So I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time on chat because it's like 85 or 90% of websites, you see the chat on the website, and it's a small widget. And it's just sitting there passively on every single website. They're not using it for anything, and a website visitor has to click on that chat bubble, and then they're using it as a contact form. So email, they put the description in, and then the brand will email them back in a couple hours or the next day, whatever it is. But you can use chat differently on different parts of your website, and almost in the same way that, like, when you walk into a store, someone greets you, and you're going to ask them questions before you buy. So we call them chat campaigns, but it's basically just a pop-up. So if someone hits your product page, you can pop up a message to them from that chat to engage them. So it could be highlighting a review that gets people excited. If you have a bunch of common questions about a particular product and people aren't purchasing for that reason, you can highlight that. If you want to do a product-specific discount and you only want on that product, you can have discount codes to basically engage those people. And so last week I was at Ezra Firestone's mastermind, and I had met the director of customer experience from this company called OG, their luxury skincare brand. And she came up to me, and for like an hour, she was just telling me about chat campaigns. She loved what she was doing with their chat campaigns and how she was driving sales. And so I asked her if I could show some of the data and what they're doing and how they're creating revenue from it. So this is one of her product pages. They sell skincare and makeup. So this is their tinted sculpted lip oil. And you can see here they have like 12 or 13 different colors. And I don't shop for makeup, but I can imagine there's a lot of questions around what color to buy. People are saying, my skin tone's this, my hair color's this, my eyes are this. So like, what do I buy? And so they basically saw that as an opportunity, and they had a campaign so that when someone gets on this product page, they just have a simple pop-up, and it literally just says, hi, need help choosing the perfect lip shade, ? So they're just asking them, hey, like, how can I help you, make this purchase? What do you need to buy? And so I pulled up basically in their help desk a conversation directly from this chat campaign. So you can see here they pop up. This person responds and says, hey, I'm 81, and after the pandemic, my skin type is sallow and gray. So they obviously weren't going outside much during the pandemic. I don't like bright red or glosses, and my hair color is this. And so simple message from the support rep, just say, hey, check out our Rosalia Dusty Rose or Linea Shimmery Peach. That's all she said. And then directly from that conversation, you can see the cart here. So they purchased 5 things for $206. So it's pretty simple, but it's very powerful. Like, you want people to be, talking with you when they're going through the purchasing cycle, because I showed you that number, 28%. It's a lot higher than the average, conversion rate on a website alone. And so this right here is her revenue dashboard. So we basically track revenue from conversations in the platform. This is recent data. So this is February to May 2021. She sent me this. This is her chats. So you can see here she's converting like 12% of her chats. She made $16,000 in the past, I think, 90 days. And then she can even see like which agents are selling and which ones are not. And then, this is a cool example, not so much on the ad side, but basically this is a brand called Wholesome Culture, and they're basically using it to, educate and teach their consumers to chat with them throughout the whole journey from Facebook to their website. So it's a click-to-messenger Facebook ad, incentive of a discount code. They have to chat in to get it on Facebook. They get the discount code, and then as soon as they hit the website, they're automatically popping up a chat on the website, and they're just saying, hey, let us know if you need anything. We're here to basically help you when you're shopping. Again, can you roll for that again? Yeah, sorry if I said that fast. So basically, click-to-messenger ad. They're just incentivizing a discount code, so it's a 10% discount code. It takes them to Facebook Messenger. They have to chat in, so they have to message them to get the discount code. Once they do, they click again, and it goes to the website. And then it's kind of small, but you'll see in the bottom right corner, it'll pop up. They click the discount code. And then you'll see in the chat pops up in the bottom corner. It just says, hi there, let me know if you have any questions. So essentially what they're doing is they're proactively telling a website visitor, hey, like, chat with us when you're shopping, because if they're chatting with them, the likelihood of them purchasing is going to be higher.
So add to message us to discount to site, talk to us consistently if you want.
And then they come in, they say, hey, I'm looking for this, or do you have a discount on this? It's a way to engage somebody. So just instead of using your chat as like as a contact form, email, message, get back to them 2 hours later, like use it to talk with your customers like a sales associate would do, in the store when you're walking in. Cool. There we go. Yeah, sure.
Questions? Hold on. Can I grab that box for me, fam? Jeez.
Hey, question real quick. I saw that was Facebook Messenger. If someone starts a conversation on Messenger, do you try to keep it on the Gorgias platform, or do you then follow back that same conversation and keep it in Messenger?
So if you're using Gorgias, we put it into Gorgias because you have all the data on them, you have their chat history, it's in one place. If you don't have Gorgias, then
so where does Messenger come in then? Because that's just like for a campaign, or like?
Yeah, so they're running an ad to Messenger essentially is where it's coming in. So the cool part is they're like, hey, chat with us on Facebook, get a discount code, go to our website, and then chat with us again.
Will you guys transcend that conversation and then bring it into Gorgias so you have that historical archive if they had that conversation on Messenger?
We do, yeah. So because we pull in Facebook
That's
Messenger, we would have like if they were chatting with you on Facebook and then chat, we would have essentially everything.
Got it, thanks bro.
Yeah.
And you'd get, just to follow up on that, you'd get if they bought from you before, if they didn't buy from you before.
Yeah, exactly. So if you'd have all of their previous carts if they had carts, their address, their phone number, all of those things if you had that information on them.
Yep. Love that feature. Use it almost every day. Question though, when is Instagram DMs coming to Gorgias?
Don't ruin it.
I'm waiting for that. Like we've been waiting.
I'll tell you on my very last slide of the presentation.
Oh shit.
Mior, did you have one? Throw it behind you, back right.
Hey, so my question is like my brand has chatbot. Okay, so it's like fully automated, like state of the art. How does it integrate with the chatbot? Like, does it know when the automation stops? Does it, like we're using ManyChat?
Yeah, exactly. It's a good question. So if you're talking ManyChat specifically on Facebook, we basically don't pull in we know all of the automated flows from ManyChat, so we're not pulling any of that in. And as soon as they say, hey, like speak to an agent, then we can pull in the conversation. Were you specific to Facebook and ManyChat, or?
No.
That's it? Okay, cool. Yeah, we're not going to blow up your your help desk with a bunch of automated responses, essentially. Cool. All right, I'll keep going. This one, get your offers out. Obviously, we always talk about getting offers out. Just a couple of examples of ways to do it. So one is comment moderation. If you're getting 1,000 comments, it's hard to go through all of them, but there's certain comments that are high purchase intent. If someone comments on your ad and they say, hey, do you ship here? Or can I get a discount code? Or they're tagging their mom and saying, hey, like I want to get this for dad. Like you want to get to those again really quick. Think about that response time because the likelihood of them purchasing, again, is higher if you're responding to their comment quicker. So you can get to comments with things like discount codes. And the next slide I have a little bit on kind of like segmenting those comments. And then the other one for customer support is every single time you talk with a customer, doesn't matter what it is, it could be like a customer support question, you should get your support agent in the signature of their email to have a discount code. So you can see at the second example here, like we have this awesome sale, 25% off. So no matter what you're saying to them, every single time you're getting out a discount code or a call to action for them to purchase. So it's just an easy way to give someone a discount code, and it's super trackable, right? It's just a custom link, so you can at the end of the month be like, oh yeah, my support team generated a few $1,000s or $10,000 from this discount code because they send it out to every single person that they talk to. And then yeah, back to comments. So it's hard to go through every single comment one by one in the ad manager. It takes a lot of time. Some brands like to respond to everything and engage with everything that they get. But what we're doing to help brands, and something that you guys should think of aside from Gorgias, is prioritizing those comments. So like I said, if someone has high purchase intent, you want to get to them pretty quick, because if you wait 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, like they're off the ad, they're not engaged anymore, they might not purchase. So you want to get to that pretty quick. Obviously, negative comments can impact the performance of your ad, so you want to get to those first. If they're existing customers asking you questions on your ad, that's going to hurt the performance of your ad, so you want to get to them first. And then after you get through these 3 buckets, go through the rest that you want to engage with that, there's no priority. You just want to engage because you like interacting with your customers. And then yeah, a little bit about SMS. So Greg talked about how Van's crushing it with SMS. A lot of brands are, so if you're not using it, yeah, I definitely recommend it. This is back to Olipop. So again, they used a bunch of customer support data to launch a new flavor. So they launched this orange cream flavor, I think this year. I think it was earlier this year. And essentially they did a pre-launch via SMS. And so, I mean, they only sent out 10,000 messages, and within the first 24 hours, they generated $64,000 in sales on that SMS campaign.
What was the attribution on this one then?
The attribution on this one? I think it was just
day of?
24 hours, yeah, like they purchased within 24 hours. Yeah, so $64,000 in sales within in 24 hours. And so part of their strategy was not just the marketing aspect of sending out SMSs and not responding. So they responded to every single person that came in that basically responded to that SMS campaign. So this is just an example of that launch. They're basically saying, hey, like I ordered the 12-pack, love your shit. Eli here is messaging back, say, hey, I appreciate you. And on this launch, there's like hundreds of responses, things like this, people purchasing, or they're asking questions about purchasing. And so they respond to everything because it generates a lot of extra money in that campaign. And so, yeah, basically to highlight some of their data from last year versus this year. So this is March to May of last year. When they were using Gorgias, they weren't really using Gorgias on their SMS tickets. You can see here they generated a little bit of money, like $1,600. But this year, March to May, they've generated $21,000 through SMS from directly responding to those SMS marketing campaigns. And then yeah, one last one. This is wordy, so I'm just going to highlight a couple of things real quick. But it goes back to upselling. So this brand, they sell silicone rings. And they basically have templated responses for like different types of customer support inquiries. So if someone's reaching out about a damaged product or return or exchange, they have upsell templates for these customer support requests. And so this example right here, someone's reaching out over Facebook Messenger and they're saying, hey, my product's damaged, like I want to return it. And then they use a template, so it's one click, to basically send this response, and in the response they're saying, hey, this is our exchange policy, pay this to return it, but also, just so you know, if you're going to return it to us, like for an extra $20, you can just upgrade it to the premium version of the product, and then the customer responds back and says, hey, like here's a picture of my broken one, and yes, like I'll exchange it and I'll buy the premium version. So this was a return or a damaged product exchange, and they upsold it, and so they have like 10 responses to basically upsell these customers from like something you wouldn't think you could turn into an upsell, but you can actually turn into an upsell. And yeah, just a quick summary. Basically, like use these conversations, convert them into customers. Obviously, we've said omnichannel in a lot of different ways since we've been here, but when I say omnichannel, I mean like where you're chatting with customers. So, try to open up as many channels as possible and make sure that your team can respond to them. You can really increase conversion rate on your website with things like chat, Facebook Messenger, and SMS, like some of the examples I showed you. And then, yeah, find ways to upsell to these people too when you're talking to them in I guess, like a less salesy way. And again, like probably one of the most important things, if there's one thing you can figure out, is just like try to respond as fast as you can, especially things like chat and SMS, where people are expecting responses pretty quickly. And I didn't get your name, but I put a slide on it because I know a lot of people have been asking for it. So backstory on Instagram DMs, a lot of brands get bombarded in their DMs and they can't really handle it very effectively. And Facebook their API was closed for forever, and so we were able to get early access a few months ago, and so we have the channel now. It's being used by like 200 people right now. In early June, it'll be available to everybody. So if you're on Gorgias, yeah, you'll be able to manage your DMs in Gorgias as well.
Jeez.
You too. So.
Can you use it for like my personal brand?
What's that?
I get so many DMs.
One of the things that we talked with you guys about was responding to Facebook ad comments where you have to connect, into your ticketing system. That's the only thing that's not on Gorgias for us in that regard, where our customer support agents need to be also able to respond to not just comments on Facebook posts or Instagram posts, but also Facebook ad posts. Like, our ads get a lot more comments than our normal posts. So I know you guys were working on it. I'm not sure if it's...
Yeah, we have it.
Yeah,
You could turn on ad comments. I mean, yeah, I know you want to chat about a few other things after the conference too, but I can show your team how to do that.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. And yeah, I think that's it. Obviously, like I said, we love Geekout, so we always have an offer for you guys. So if anyone's not on Gorgias, come see me, mention Geekout, and we can hook you guys up. And that's
Thank you. Thank you, Billy. All right, what we're going to do real quick, we're going to get a little bit more energy back in the room. We're going to get up. Don't dive into any deep conversations with each other. Actually, be a little bit recluse. We're going to walk out, shake the legs a little bit, and we're going to reset the room, and we're going to let the Thrasio gentlemen sit up here. We're going to have an open fireside chat, and we're going to get it going. So, you guys got less than 10 minutes.